agencies have to abide by as well. Everything is here. You know what your rights are. I don't want people to take my word for it. I want them to go form your own opinion, because this is basically my opinion. Like I tell you, I'm not a lawyer. I'm telling people things based on fact, but of course you have to make sure people know I'm not a lawyer, but this I know. These things are here for you to use them. If you don't use them, then there is no excuse for you to have bad credit, with the exception of blaming yourself. You're your own worst enemy.
That's right. And I will tell you that while you might not be a lawyer, you've got lots of years of experience in practicing this. You have lots and lots of satisfied clients who you've been able to assist through the process and regain their life. One of the things I really loved about the book, too, it was written in plain English.
Exactly.
I mean, it's credit repair for us who aren't lawyers.
Right.
You can understand it. But I think the thing that I know, because you're so close to it, and that you haven't said this and it's really, you gain the knowledge that you need to manage your credit score for the rest of your life, and you can impart that knowledge to your kids and family so that they can manage their credit score. And that's what kind of information, life-changing information inside that book.
And you know what? I think today is one of those days that we really need to start thinking about our next generation, because as we both said, your parents never sat down and discussed it with you. My parents never sat down and discussed it with me. They just assumed we were going to, do what you had to do. But this book is also going to teach you how, if things come up in life, for those accounts that are open, we show you how to go, and if you have to be late on a payment, how to actually get that payment in before it's actually affecting your score. Another big thing that this book hits on is your balances. People don't understand that your payment history it takes about 35% of your FICO score is based on your payment history, but 30% is actually based and geared on balances that are carried. If you have a credit card and your credit limit is $7,500 and you have maxed it out and you have about $7,200 charged to that card, it is killing your score. It will tremendously drop your score. The reason being is number one, what it looks like to a creditor is you're not able to function off of your everyday income. And so it makes it look to a creditor like you're actually using your credit to live. So how can you actually add another bill where you can barely pay the ones you have because your balances on your cards are so high? And the bad thing about these credit reports are it shows every single month. It shows what your balances were carried. Every month it shows what you started out with and when you got to this point. So
no escaping the truth.
No escaping the truth. So, it gives you, it's a section in the book that tells you how to go through and make sure you can alleviate the debt. Make sure that, you live within your means. Go back to using those. You can't destroy those accounts, because it also tells you what happens when you close accounts, how it affects, how detrimental it is to your.
And I was shocked by that too when I read that. I was really surprised. The first thing a consumer thinks is pay it off and get rid of it, but that's really the wrong thing to do.
It will kill your credit score. Right now, a lot of people are really going through some issues where the banks are actually lowering people's credit limit. And what you don't understand, you would never have thought in a million years that they would do that. They're lowering the available credit, the amount of credit that they're issuing, so that it's making it seem like they've used up, all of their credit, where the bank has actually taken away the available credit that they've had because they're going through financial difficulties. And it is amazing how could you go through and do that to your consumer, especially knowing the effect that it's going to have on the bearing on someone's life. By a bank doing that, it could affect a person from getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
It could affect a person from having insurance rates that were once reasonable. Now they're having to pay outrageous rates. Our economy has been affected by these life-altering changes. We didn't decide to go through and make the wrong decisions about what these businesses were going to do with our money. These businesses they've done it to themselves. We need to re-educate ourselves, because it's evident that the businesses, big corporations, they have been running amok forever. You've taken people's credit limit away. You've lowered their score. Now, what happens when they need to go and refinance their home?
Right. And, I think what happens is when you get the letter from the bank or financial institution that says we've lowered your credit limit, 99% of consumers have no idea what kind of effect that'll have on them. And that's why they need to read the book.
Right. The book will explain it to you. We'll also be able to explain how you can go and get those matters resolved as well. Because you have to, if a creditor is looking, you have to be able, there has to be something, someone needs to monitor this. Mm-hmm. We need to figure out why, if they're able to do that, and they are able to, because that's a part of that, all that verbiage that they give you within a credit card contract, mm-hmm. and they tell you about your interest rate.
Right.
And, if they have the right to, take their line of credit back if they choose to, or, that's in all the stuff that we don't read.